we talk about AI, how we can improve human interaction and communicate in faster way.
Okay.
So, as you know, I'm not the expert. I'm just the founder of is today I'm in the conversation with emergency communication adjunct professor at UNISS, business development manager at ASC 27, Colum Donnelly. Please help me welcome Colum. Welcome, Colum.
Thank you so much. Hello, Bashir. Hello, everyone.
Let me start with this. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who are you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Well, this sounds like my life history. I was born and raised in Italy. I chose to stay in Italy. I'm half Irish. And I began working at Italian Red Cross in the ambulance services almost 20 years ago. That has been my job through college, and I spent 10 of the most incredible years in my life, and this taught me to be very aware of time and how I was using time. Then I moved to the private sector, and I now work with ASC 27 as a business development manager. We develop and produce incredible AI solutions, and we are fresh winners of a competition at WAIC in Singapore, in Shanghai, and with one of our products, and we are very proud of it. And I was driven here thanks to a few people who actually helped me focus on what I was feeling and what was my journey, what was the best way to improve myself and give my best. And I arrived here. I also teach at university crisis communication, and the link between what I do in ASC 27 and what I teach to my students, it's very, very, very tight. So communication, technology, and how all this can help us to improve as humans. This is what I do and what I came to do.
What are top 3 mistakes to avoid?
Well, top 3 mistakes. In my experience, top 3 mistakes are about not believing in oneself, which is a problem for the organization you are within and also for yourself and the people surrounding you. Not being able to communicate in the best way possible. And this has a lot to do with preparation. And in my experience, we don't train enough our students. So it's something we don't get since we are young students. And the third thing is to allow ourselves to give trust to other people. We need to trust more to achieve results.
Give me one more.
Well, one more is thinking that time is an enemy. Time is our friend, and the finite life we have puts some positive pressure on us and allows us to reach our goals and spend a very happy life.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn, and how did you recover from it?
Well, my greatest failure was a business I started about 10 years ago, and I didn't choose wisely the person I was working with, and somehow I felt in the beginning I lost a year of my life, and it was very hard to admit, and I had to force myself to analyze and overcome this feeling in order to get back on track. and it was very difficult to regain trust in other people, and this was the hardest thing I did. But it also taught me that if I'm not able to trust anyone, I will not able to reach any of my goals. It was I learned it the hard way.
What are your top 3 success secrets that others can follow?
Well, the first one is the morning routine I worked on in the last years, which is quite strict, but allows me to start every day with an incredible energy. And this is part of my happiness and of my success. The second thing is that at some point I realized when I was an ambulance driver and technician that I had to care about people. Care about people means really everyone. And caring about people is what allowed me to reach everything I did. And the third thing is remember to fight harder, because when we are working on something and we are willing to give everything, sometimes we just come to a stop, and we don't think we are able to overcome what is in front of us. And remembering that I need to fight harder gives me the energy and the resources to think harder and overcome whatever it is.
What is the most impactful business book you read, and what did you learn from it?
Now, it's not properly a business book, but it was very, very useful to me. The book is This Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow, written by an Israeli author who is Yuval Noah Harari. And this was really game-changing, because it gave me a new perspective and allowed me to widen up my view, and gave me focus on what are the challenges we are going to face in a span of 10, 20 years. And it was incredible, really incredible to read. So this is my business book and my suggestion. It's also translated in almost any language, so it's very easy to find. And there is a thing I'd like to read and share with you. During the last 100 years, technological, economic, and political development have created an increasingly robust safety net, separating humankind from the biologically poverty line. Mass famines still strike some areas from time to time, but they are exceptional, and they are almost always caused by human politics rather than by natural catastrophes. There are no longer natural famines in the world. There are only political famines. If people in Syria, Sudan, or Somalia starve to death, it's because some politician wants them to. And this is in the opening of the book, in the first pages. And well, it was quite shocking to realize how reality actually works. And this book is filled with data and statistics to support everything the author writes. So it made me think a lot about how we can evolve, progress, and become better humans. And this is something I'm trying to hard to apply to do in every kind of business I'm working on, and also in teaching at university. So, what do I want to be remembered for? Well, I like to be remembered as a person who stepped up whenever it was the time to do it, and the person who allowed, one of the guys who allowed artificial intelligence and communication to become common knowledge for everyone and part of what students study at school and university, whatever they choose to become. But everyone needs communication and AI, especially in the 20 upcoming years. That would be absolutely fundamental.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Oh, no. This is a tough one. Usually, I take a deep, deep breath. I refocus because I need to get my brain working in the proper way, and then I just restart and face the next challenge. But I need to step down, calm down, breathe, and then analyze and find new ways, new solutions to any challenge in front of me.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your other significant other?
Well, it's not a 100% success process, but usually what works for me is to study numbers, really study hard numbers in order to have a common basis to discuss, even if points of view are different, but numbers are common ground. And then I work a lot on presentation, on the choice of words and metaphors I will use, because every single word matters. And the last thing I do, and it's the most important, I listen. I listen because it might not be a so good idea. So I'm very interested in knowing what the people working with me are thinking about my idea. And so I listen. I think this is the most important thing, and one of the things we are kind of losing. So listening is number one.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Ooh. Well, now I'm 40. I reached many of the goals I had for me, and I think in the next 10 years, I'd like to go back to college to study, and I'd like to get a Master of Arts in history. I would love that very, very much. I love studying. And I also think this would enable me to have a wider point of view on on life, and it would keep me younger because I have to study like I did in the old times. So I think it's great. And it's something very, very beneficial to me.
What are you grateful for today?
I'm going to become a father, and we are on the 7th month of pregnancy. And so I'm every day in the last 7 months, I've been grateful for this upcoming new event in my life. So I'm always grateful for the same reason every single day in the last 7 months.
We want to wish you best wishes for you and for your family.
Thank you so much.
And, who is your living mentor, and what is the impact they have on you?
Well, I think I had more than one, but the person who gave me the right perspective is Dante. And the most important thing he passed me is to never stop reading, never stop studying, never stop looking the world around me, how it develops, how the shape changes, in order to be ready to adapt and push through. And this was a lesson which I tried to understand and live at my best.
Why is being impactful important to you?
Because gave me focus, allowed me to understand how focus can help me overcome everything in my way, and also build better relations with family, with friends, with people I don't know, with people I know working by business, and being focused, being centered. Well, it happened. I happened to realize that it allows me to give my best. So focus.
How do you start your day?
Well, I've been slightly changing my morning routine recently, but usually I get up 4:20 a.m. in the morning. I meditate, I do some yoga and read at 5 o'clock since February. This is the news. I moderate a room on Clubhouse in Italian, Cinque Stupefacenti, and I spend an hour or something more with friends I knew on Clubhouse in this month. And then I have some physical exercise, depends on the weather and conditions. And then we have a daughter to send to school. And so then my family routine kicks in. And after 8 o'clock in the morning, usually I go back to business. This is usually my start of day from Monday to Sunday, except for school, obviously.
Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is someone I can align with on values and principles, and someone who understands in this particular moment how artificial intelligence is a game changer and can allow humans to focus on what humans are good to do and leave everything else to machines. And this is the kind of client I'm looking for.
Are those large corporation or new business owners, like people who are entering into
Well,
business?
actually, it depends, because we make custom-made AI solutions. So we work with big corporations in Italy and obviously even in foreign countries. But I think the best comes when you have to imagine with the client, usually they're not large corporations, something new, something very specific, something which allows great conversation, great discussions, and incredibly interesting projects which arise from usually small, medium companies. This is one of the things I love most. They're more free to innovate, to fail, to search for new and really new, brand new solutions. And this is a big drive to think, overthink, and think again. So usually this is something I like very much. I love it.
What is the advice you would give to your younger yourself?
Trust your feelings. Just 3 words. Trust your feelings, which is something I learned, I think, too late in my life.
How can we support you?
Well, I'd love to get in touch with everyone around the world. This is our website, asc27.com, and we love to build custom-made solutions. And so if you're thinking about artificial intelligence, so you have some doubts about artificial intelligence, just reach to us and we can discuss it. We are an Italian company. We are an Italian startup. We have a 20 years background in cybersecurity and a few years in artificial intelligence. We are young, we are prepared, we are skilled, and we'd love to do something great and unique. So just write line or whatever.
What would you say about your guest experience on the show?
It was great, Bashir. Thank you so much. It was great. It was just great. I loved your questions, and I've been looking at a lot of interviews you've done, and they were really inspiring. Thank you so much for the show.
What would you say as a final word?
Well, as a final word, there is all the time we need to fulfill our purpose here. So anxiety, fear, and whatever drags you down, well, just don't allow it to happen, and think of time as your ally, your best friend, and everything will be fine, just fine.
Colum Donnelly, thank you so much for your time and wisdom with us. On the behalf of Entrepreneur Empowerment Club and our entire team, we really appreciate you. I hope
Thank
our
you so
path
much.
cross again with another amazing guest. Until then, have a wonderful time.
Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye from Italy. Thank you, Bashir. Thank you so much.